Hello, I am Paula Bennett and welcome to my New Zealand Herald podcast, Ask Me Anything. One thing I've learned in life is it's never too late to learn something new. So on this podcast, I talk to people from all walks of life to hear about how they got to where they are and get some advice and guidance on some of life's biggest questions. My guest today has, I think, one of the most recognisable voices in New Zealand. Honestly, I could just get her to talk and you'll all instantly know who she is. She's the Infomercial Queen, telly star, Dancing with the Stars champion, now host of new podcast, Fork's Sake.
Yes, that's
Fork's
quite right.
Sake. A woman with a lot of wisdom. You've already know who she is now because she spoke.
Right.
I'm so excited to welcome Suzanne Paul here.
Aw.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
How's the podcast? Am I allowed to tell them that I'm on?
Yes, you're on it. It's such fun. Well, I thought it was too. I love it. I love talking to people about food. But it, as you know, being on the show, it just leads somewhere else, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, start talking about lamb chops and you don't know where you sort of end
Well,
up.
and those, like, as you kind of do in the podcast as well, those wonderful food memories and what they mean and what they bring up
Yes.
for you,
Yeah.
both good and bad.
Yes, exactly. And we're hearing both, you know,
Yeah.
which is good.
Brussels sprouts and custard.
Yay!
Yeah, no, that didn't even went there. Okay, I'm easing us in. Is there anything that you have particularly binge watched lately? Do you watch much TV?
I do. I watch a lot of TV, and funnily enough, I know we've got the Fork's Sakes, which is all about food. But for some reason, because I'm not a foodie, but I like watching MKR, My Kitchen Room.
Love it.
I know. I just can't get over it. It stresses me out because I'm just like, they're never going to do it. Oh, they won't do it. I'm just like, how can they even do it? But you are a foodie, aren't you? So
Yeah,
you
well, I
love
don't know
all
if I'm
that.
foodie, but I love that you're in their home. I love Colin and
Yes.
Manu.
Oh, me
I just think
too.
they're funny. And then the dynamics around the table.
I know. It's gripping, isn't it?
Yes.
But I know that's coming to an end soon, and we've just got into The Block.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I like reality things.
Okay.
And I do like watching thrillers and cop shows,
Yeah.
crime dramas, that sort of thing.
I've just finished watching the Claire Danes one, The Beast in Me.
Oh.
Highly
Oh,
recommend.
yes, I could watch that, yeah.
Highly recommend. Okay, if you could time travel, would you go to the future or the past?
Oh, I think I'll go back, I think.
Mm.
Go to the
Is there a
past.
particular...
I love the 70s, I did. I think I was at my peak visually. Healthily.
We were
energy-wise.
talking about baking in the sun before, weren't we?
I
So
know.
you could go back and say, Suzanne, do
Yeah,
not
what
bake
are
in
you
that
doing?
sun.
I just think it was such a great era. I loved the fashions when I look back, the things I used to wear, the things I used to get up to. I think I was quite wild and adventurous, and yeah.
Okay, well let's talk
Yeah.
about that. So tell me where you grew up. So you grew up in you were Sue Barnes.
I was Sue Barnes, little Sue Barnes, they used to call me,
Okay.
from Wolverhampton.
Yep.
I'm going to pronounce the H, Hampton, but it's Wolverhampton. And it's right in the middle of England, next to Birmingham and Coventry.
Mhm.
So it's very industrial, low socioeconomic sort of,
And your mum left when you were quite young.
Yeah, she did,
So
yeah.
that would have been unusual in those days.
It was
wasn't
unusual. I
Yeah.
only, in our whole school, in that year, I only knew one other girl who didn't have two parents, and she actually lived in an orphanage.
Wow.
I know. Everybody else, it just was how it was at the time. Everybody had two parents.
And unusual more even so that it was your
It would
father
be
that
your
was
father,
yeah.
Yes, if anything, it would be a single mum,
Mm.
if anything. So, and looking back on it now, I think my dad, God bless him, he had no clue really how to look after two small children, but
Yeah.
he did the best he could. And he came from that era where, they didn't show the affection,
Mm-hmm.
We weren't even allowed to talk about my mum leaving. I had no clue what was going on there. I just presumed it was something that I had done or my brother had done to, upset her
Yeah.
by being naughty. I thought that's why she'd gone.
Yeah, that crazy young brain, that overthinks and doesn't get enough information.
No, nothing.
And so you fill in the gaps yourself.
Yeah.
Have you ever reconnected with your mother?
Yes, I did. I found her when I was 15. I left
wow.
home. I stayed with my dad till I was 15. And then I went to live with my mum and my stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And realised that actually it had nothing to do with you, the reason
Yeah.
she'd left.
Yeah. Yes, it wasn't my fault at all.
No. Okay, and I think this is really cruel, but is it, cruel in what it's called, because then I have to try and get it right. Dyscalculia.
Yeah. Some people say dyscalculia and some say dyscalculia, but nobody said it at all back then when I was at school.
So what is it?
So whereas your dyslexia is a problem with your letters, and reading, dyscalculia is a problem with numbers.
Okay.
And in the fact that they make no sense at all.
So it's it's a bit like dyslexia where,
yes.
There's different
but numbers
types,
cannot get it.
Yeah, so they're just sort of scrambled for you.
There's no memory there for it. It wouldn't matter how long I sat in the classroom and he said this is this and times 2 and y equals z, and all this and that, and I'd be thinking, right, okay, and then they'd send you off with the homework and I would get home and literally go, I've no idea what that is. What did he say again? What was it? No idea. So every time then I would go back to school. Have you done your homework? No, I haven't. Made no sense. Okay, in detention.
Oh, really? So you were in trouble all the time?
In the trouble all the time and made to feel like an idiot. And then he would push it. He would get me to stand up in class. Okay, work this out. What does that mean? No idea. Haven't a clue. Makes no sense to me. So obviously I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I was going to say then they would make you feel like you were stupid.
Yeah, so they put me in a lower class, so I was with the young kids to help me with the maths. Still nothing. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. I can't remember anything. Even if I, repeat it over and over, I can't remember. And it affects me still. I just have learnt to deal with it.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you've dealt with it.
Yes, so it's like things even with time. Even if I might do the same thing every day, like, I've got to record my podcasts from 2 till 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What time did I leave home last week to get there? No, 1:30. No, that can't be right. Not if I'm recording. No, nothing. Even though I can do it every week. What time? Maybe I left home at 12. How long would that? So I write it down.
Yeah.
I have to work backwards. Got to be there at that, an hour and a half. Get ready, get up. Right from there, every single step of the way. Because I won't remember any of it. And even if I do it the next day, I won't remember it.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
But you've learnt to write it down, get that
down.
routine. And I'm just to prove my point, you see, isn't dyslexia a cruel word for people that can't read properly?
Isn't
then they make it the most complicated word.
It is, you're right. And it's the sort of thing, a lot of people didn't understand dyslexia. And even myself, I would think, he's just not trying. He's just not, could read it. They're just saying they've got dyslexia, so they don't. But then, then it's me with the dyscalculia. And I tell you the thing that annoys me more than ever. So if I say to people, I've got dyscalculia, I don't do numbers, they'll say, I've got that, I'm the same. When I'm working out my tax, I can't get it. And I'm thinking to myself, I could not even comprehend working out my own tax. It's not a matter of, I don't want to do it, or it takes me an hour instead of half an hour. I can't even do it, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then we've all got our strengths and things as well.
Yes, can't be good at everything.
No, not everything. So, you've described it as a very working class upbringing. When do you think you realised there were so many inequalities in life, if you like?
When I went to the secondary school, which was because it turned out I was fairly intelligent and so was my brother. So they used to send you to the school that matched your, we took an exam when we were 11. It was called the 11 plus.
Okay.
And depending on the results of that exam, depending on the school that you went to. And he was a year older than me and he passed and so did I. So we went to a school that was outside of our district. It was about 2 hours away, 2 bus rides.
Wow, that's a long way.
It was a long way to go. We didn't have a car. It was all, catch a bus, go to the city, get on another bus, go there, walk up there. And it was like arriving in another world.
Really?
It was really not a working class. It was probably upper middle class. So they arrived in cars, and the girl that sat next to me the first day said, give me your phone number. What's your home phone number? And I can call you tonight. And I said, my dad won't let me use the phone. He uses it for business. First lie out my mouth there.
Wow.
We never had a phone. I never knew anybody with a phone.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow.
We never had a car. We never had a phone. We never had a bath or a shower or an inside toilet.
And so you realised there's this other whole world and I'm going to have to bluff it.
Yeah, I bluffed it for a year. And it was where you're going on your holidays and school photos, and they all went to Spain and France or something. And, we didn't go anywhere. And they were like, where's your photos? Oh, blooming camera. Got the photos developed, nothing, and it was all lie. But then after the first year, it became obvious because when the new term started, I was the only one in my class that had the same uniform on from the year before and the next year and the next year.
Yeah.
I had the same school uniform when I left as the day I started. It just got smaller and shorter. Luckily, I never got any fatter, but everything just got shorter and they were all in new things.
Yeah.
And the summer uniform and the winter.
So do you think you were treated differently because you didn't have the same opportunities and didn't have the same money in the household?
Yes, I knew I was treated differently.
Yeah. And what did that do to you, perhaps? And because, you've gone on to such success and such a hard-working ethic.
It gave me a fighting spirit because I just thought, that's not fair. How is she getting all these clothes and these shoes and the car? And I just thought, just because of circumstances of birth, that's not fair. So I knew from about the age of 12, I thought to myself, I'm not having it. I'm not having that. I'm not having that life. Even though there was no encouragement anywhere around me to try and improve yourself. It was like, it's like the old series we used to watch, Upstairs, Downstairs or Downton Abbey. You had to know your place. That was your place, You are one of the servants. You can never be in the upstairs part,
And sometimes you've got to see it to believe it as well.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know that there's
That's right.
other choices and other options out there. And you did, probably because of your school.
Yeah.
And seeing other people with things. But there would be some of your neighbours and some of your that would never have seen, wouldn't have.
No, except on the telly, but you just didn't even think that was real. It was just, that's on the telly,
So when you left school, what sort of options were available to you then? And what path did you end up going down?
Factories or shop work was really it. And my dad was in factories, so was my mum and everyone I knew, and I just thought, well, they didn't really, make it, did they? Make it bigger, make it rich. So I thought, well, I won't go in a factory then, I'll go in a shop.
Okay.
So
you worked behind the counter?
Yes, like Woolworths or something like that.
And then you did get more into sales though, didn't you?
Yes, got more and more into sales. So I realised I quite liked it. I liked chatting to people and I found out I was quite good at it. So I just went from shop to shop selling different things, over the years.
And you're on commission only?
In the early days, yes. When I got to about 18 and then I became a sales demonstrator, which was commission only. So from the age of 18 right out, that I never earned a basic wage, never had sick pay or holiday pay or any of that.
And was that good or bad?
Oh, a bit of both, because I was on my own. I was living by myself from when I was 18, in bedsits. And it involved a lot of travel. So I could be somewhere for 3 months selling the slicer dicer for a certain company, and then that promotion would end. But I would get another job and now I've got to get on a coach and get to, or go to Blackpool for 4 months, selling the whatever it is, magic window washer. And there was no expenses, nothing. So because it was commission, it did make me, well, very hard working for one, obviously. And I would just stand there for hour after hour after hour. I think I'm not moving because just somebody could come along in a minute and buy 4 of these. So I always felt, sometimes I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong product.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even have enough money for the bus fare home. I'd have to walk home, didn't have enough for any food, just a bag of crisps or something. But then the next month, here we go. I could be in the right place at the right time with the right product. And the commission would be great.
Yeah.
It's a bit like being a gambler as well, you see, because when you're on that, woohoo, I'm earning big money now. So then you think, the next thing, that's going to be big as well. But you could go on to the next thing and it's rubbish again.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Selling things. When I first got here, I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door.
Oh, that would be hard.
I didn't even have a car. So a van.
So you carried?
I carried it up the streets, It was massive as well, Kirby vacuum cleaner.
And heavy.
Heavy, and there was lots of attachments to it. And but I had to go door to door knocking and, get in and vacuum the carpets and then ask them to take the sheets off the bed so I could vacuum the mattress to get the fleas and the dead skin up. I feel sick thinking about it. It was vile. But if you sell one, they're $1,000 a pop, I remember, and if you sold
one. And what decade are we in? How long ago?
So that was 1991.
Okay, and that's when you came to New Zealand?
Yeah.
Wow. And so how did you end up here?
I know. Actually, that was the 3rd time I'd got
Really?
here. Yeah. Yeah, it was the 3rd time.
So tell me about that.
I started because I travelled all over England selling things. And then I thought I'd try my luck further afield, and I was investigating working in Australia and wondered how I would get on in Australia selling things. When I saw adverts, it was travel brochures. There was no online Googling back then. I had travel brochures for Australia, and it was 1988 and the World Expo was on in Brisbane. So I wrote to the British government asking if I could work at the World Expo. And I got a job. Yeah. So 1988, for that whole year, I worked at the World Expo as a hostess in the British Pavilion.
Really?
Yeah, which was like selling, but it was just selling Great Britain and our country and have a look at this and singing Auld Lang Syne and all sorts of things. So I loved it, and I stayed in Australia and worked, tried to find products I could sell at like Paddy's Market or, in shopping malls. And it didn't work out. And eventually, the sort of the working visa and the money ran out, went back to England, saved all my money again. And the first time I came here, it was as a stopover. So I had a 3-week stopover on the way to Australia. And I liked it so much, I never went back to Australia. I thought, no, I think this is better. I'll stay here. So I had a year. Do you remember back in the glory days of Victoria Park Market?
Yes.
I got myself a stall there, and I was selling my vibrating massage pillows.
Okay.
And going really well. But then there was some trouble with my shipping container coming in from China, and I think it fell off the back of the ship or something. No stock, and in a very short space of time, I'd no money and the visa ran. So I went back to England, and so it was coming and going and coming and going. And then the 3rd time I came, I looked for a job in the newspaper. Or was that the 2nd time I came? Anyway, I saw the Easter show was advertised. So I I had enough for the bus fare to the Easter show. I just went round every stand. Yes, do you want me to sell? I could do, I can sell this. No, we don't need anyone. Every stand all the way round. Do you need any help? I could sell this. I could do that for you. Until I got to a stand. His name was George, and he was selling metal polish. And I said, do you need me to help you with this? I'm #1 salesperson in England. He said, well, I don't need you full time. Anyway, he said, could you mind the stand though? Just for an hour while I go and get something to eat and go to do some banking. He didn't know me from a bar of soap, but I said, yes, I can do that. So I worked for an hour on his stand, and when he came back, I'd sold more in that 1 hour than he sold the whole day before. So he said, how about we change things? How about you work the stand full time and I'll just relieve you every day for the hour for your break. So that's what we did. And then word got round. Everybody came. Are you the woman from England that's selling more than George did, in his whole life? Do you want to work for me? And I met a man then. We became business partners.
Wow.
And that was it.
Wow. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick break because I want to come back and I want to hear the rest of that story. And let's give some advice to people on taking opportunities, and if they do or don't work out, how you sort of pick yourself back up and get going. So we'll be right back after this break. Well, welcome back, everyone. My guest today, as you already know, is Suzanne Paul. I want to focus now on your success and everything, but I've just got this question in the break just kept going through my head, which is, why are you good at sales? How is someone good at sales?
I know. So, and I teach a lot of people now, how to do sales. And people assume it's a lot about talking, which it is, but it's also a lot about listening, which I find is the biggest part. You can't sell people something if they don't really need it or want it. You know what I mean? You've got to talk to them and find out, even if it's the vacuum cleaner, So if you've got carpets at home, no, we're all wood. This is perfect for wood. You've got animals, we've got dog. This has got the attachment for the dog hair. Do you know what I mean? So it is always just about finding out what their needs are and what their problems are, and that I've got the thing to solve the problem. I've always got the thing to solve the problem.
And do you think it's part of your wonderful energy and things? I mean, it's certainly what
yes.
Those of us that started watching you in the early, in the early days.
Yes.
It's that beautiful energy that you've got.
It is.
That sort of comes
being
through as well.
Yourself. And I noticed the last few years that that thing came out about be your true, authentic self. And to me, I was thinking to myself, why do they keep saying that all the time? Isn't everybody just being themselves? But apparently they weren't, and so there's all this thing now about learn how to be your true, authentic self. And I think it could have worked in my favor. It did work in my favour because it made people sit up, because I didn't put it. Well, people would meet me and still meet me and say, oh my God, you sound exactly the same as you do on the telly. You look the same. I'm like, well, yeah, what else am I?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. But I think up until then there was like, which makes me laugh when I look at old shows from the 50s here or 60s. And they're talking in a very proper English voice, it's all very, and it was in England then. But this accent cut through, and I think it struck home with people that I was natural and I was being honest. And that's a big thing in sales.
And in TV.
Yes.
I mean, because within a year of moving here, you were on the TV, weren't you?
Yes, I was, yeah.
That's incredible in itself. So how did that happen?
I know. It was a bit by accident because I got the business partner who I met, through the Easter show and doing all that. And he was like me. He was a sales demonstrator from way back, and so were his families. So we decided, that we would work together and sell products at the Easter show and at the Women's Lifestyle show. And I would set up in shopping malls and sell things, And so we set up this business, and I would employ girls and train them. This is how you sell the vibrating massage pillow and various products. What I found out, which is what I realised soon as I was at that Easter show, is, oh my God, 20, 30 products that I'd sold in England at all these shows for the last 20 years weren't even here. You see. You were a bit behind the times there, and I thought to myself, oh, if I bought that product over, from England, I know the demonstration for that, I could sell that. So bit by bit, Paul would say, what's the next best thing you'd say? And I'd say, well, I sold this thing in England and it was great, so let's
you're ahead of the trend.
Yeah, we were ahead of the trend.
Because of what you've seen over there and what you've done.
Yes.
I guess, but how on earth does that go from that to TV?
So we did that, and then we launched a product which we we had made for us, which was called Natural Glow with thousands of luminous spheres.
Yeah.
And we launched that. We actually launched it at the Field Days in Hamilton. I had an outside stand in the pouring rain, dusting this makeup on women. And then I trained up some girls. We went all around the shows, the malls. And then women would say to me, when this Natural Glow runs out, where can I buy the next one? And I said, I don't know. I might be at the Field Days in June or try the Home Show in August. But they're like, we need something a bit more definite. Right. So I thought about that and we said, we know what we've got to do. We'll get it into pharmacies. Then I can say to the women, when you run out, go to the pharmacy. So then I schlepped, honestly, all round these pharmacies in Auckland. I went to about 20, I'd say, in a week. And they're all like, never heard of it. We're not stocking some makeup that's made in who nobody's ever heard of. No, we don't want it. And I'm like, yeah, but it does sell. The women love it. I've been selling it all year at the show. Anyway, so then my business partner and I were like, so we need to get it. How can we make the pharmacies want it? We make a TV ad. We go on TV, we say, this makeup is available in selected pharmacies, you see. Let's drive this out. Then women would go. And so I wrote the commercial because it was my product. I developed it. I wrote the advert for it. And then we were going to get, we thought, Lana Cowcroft or Jude Dobson. Yeah. Because they were on the TV at the time. We thought, you need somebody famous who can do it. And then it turned out we couldn't afford, either of them. So my business partner, Paul, he said to me, well, you'll have to do it. You'll have to go to the studio next week and you film it. Now, at the time, he had a business partner, okay? And he said, yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, Suzanne, you go to the studio and film it. Oh, my God. I didn't want to do it. It was like a nightmare. I thought I'm going to let everybody down. And both these business partners were saying, no, but if this advert doesn't work, we will have lost all our money. That will be it. So we are relying on you with this advert.
No pressure.
No pressure there then. I'm like, I was throwing up all week. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I'm in the studio. I remember holding up the pot of it and the director saying, cut, can you hold it still? We can't focus on it.
You've got the shakes.
Yeah, I'm like this. The sweat was pouring off me. I'm shaking it like this.
You were glowing.
I was glowing. And we edited it. And even I thought, oh, my Jesus, that's terrible. And Paul, his business partner, said to him, no, if you play that advert, I want out of this. That's the worst advert I've ever seen in my life. And nobody's going to understand a word she's saying. Her accent, you could cut, with the knife. But Paul said, well, we've no choice. We don't have any money left. This is the only advert we've got. It's going on. Oh, gee. And I just remember the day it went on. I was already making in my head, okay, what's the next plan? Because that was the thing everybody used to. It was a joke with the neighbours, with the family and friends back home. What plan are you on now, Sue? Yes, I know. I'm on plan, 27, go here, do this. And I'm already thinking in my head, okay, what could I do? Where could I work? What could I sell? Next minute, the phone started ringing and history was made.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were off.
So you've had some ups and downs, and I suppose and you talked about that with the, with the plans and everything else. I think it would be really good to get some advice on how you do think about what you can do, because that's my impression of you. It's not what I can't do, it's what I can do, and sort of digging in there. And I know there'll be people that are all through life, we go through ups and downs, right? We have our successes and we have some failures.
Yeah.
Tell me how you've picked yourself up and how you think of that next plan.
Yes, I know. It was funny because for so many years, all I kept thinking was, it doesn't matter how many times I fail. I've only got to succeed the once. This is what I kept saying to myself all the time. And also, there was nobody coming to save me. There was nobody to save me. Do you know what I mean? There was nobody that I thought, never mind, I can always go back and live in Wolverhampton in poverty, and try and get a council house. Because I'm just thinking to myself, that's not happening. I'm not having that life. I'm not going back there. I'm not living like that. All right. Well, you've got to do something then. Make a decision. What can you do? And it would about, yes, pushing myself and looking for those opportunities, but just, believing in yourself 100%. It's a weird thing, even when nobody else does. I remember going up to TVNZ for 5 years with Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. For 5 years. They went through 3 changes of bosses there. And even people that knew me and loved me were like, I don't think people are going to want to choose to watch you in a TV show because you're on telly anyway every 5 minutes in adverts. They're probably everybody's sick of the sight of you. Probably when you come in, they're like, oh, God, it's that woman again, switch her off. So why are they going to watch it? But I'm always like, well, I think they will. I think this is a great idea. I think they'll watch it. So I'd go out and some boss at TVNZ would be like, no, I don't think that's that's awful. So I'd go away and I'd think to myself, what does he know?
Yeah.
I'd
Running
think,
TV.
honestly, I would think, what
station.
does he know? He knows nothing. And then 2 years later, I think there's a new boss at TVNZ. I'm going to go up again. So I'd go in and pitch again. They were like, no. And then the third time I went, over 5 years, I was in and out, in and out. And when somebody finally said yes, he said now, Neil, forget his last name now, anyway, it'll come to me. And I did this and I could do this and I go there and knock on the doors. And when he said, that sounds like a good idea, yeah, I did literally go, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
Because I was waiting for I don't think so, and I was like, oh, okay. And he said, and it's how it was done then. It was the early 90s. Yes, come in next week. We'll all sit round the table and we'll all talk about it and we'll all pitch ideas in, and that was it.
But is it you mentioned confidence and believing in yourself, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking, well, there's not many people actually that would have gone around every stand at the Easter show.
No, there wasn't.
3 rejections, and most people would just be like, well, that didn't work. And I can hear teenagers all over the bloody country saying it, no one likes me, no one thinks I'm any good at anything.
Yeah.
And so, and there's not many people that would go 5 years and pitch 3 times.
Let's go.
So is that, there's a bit of tenacity in there as well, isn't it?
It is, but do you know what? It all links back to being sales, because I've been in sales since, the early age, from 15. You are used to people saying no to you.
Yeah, you're rejected all the time. Yeah,
you get failure after failure after failure, and the mantra that we use in stores and still do today is somebody always buys in the end. They always have, and they always will. And now with being a demonstrator, it's about stopping people. So if you're at the home show, it's not just about selling them; it's trying to stop someone. Hello, how did you sleep last night? Yes, hello, what makeup are you using? No, she's gone. You get used to that rejection time after time.
Hey,
no.
Politician that knocks on doors.
Yes,
and stands at the mall.
Right.
Going, excuse me, hello, Paula from the National Party.
No, bugger off. Yes, I think over the years I just got used to it and just kept saying to myself, that's right, in the end you will be in the right place at the right time with the product, and somebody always says yes in the end. They always have and they always will. And so I've believed that about everything that I've done. Just keep going, just keep going.
So you can handle probably a bit more rejection than a lot of people kind of can.
Yeah.
And it's for that reason. Do you think growing up in poverty and having nothing effectively, do you think that also drives you and motivates you? I mean, as you said, you have no one to fall back on.
Yeah.
You don't have that sort of. So, I mean, I reckon once you've been poor, I've had Dame Julie Christie on the show, and she just said, once you've had poor and you're then all right, you ain't ever going back.
No, you're not going back. No, it doesn't matter really what you have to do. That's what I said. Yeah, it was just a question of I'm not going back there, and it didn't matter if I was selling vacuum cleaners door to door. It was still a job, and it's still to me better than Wolverhampton and going
Yeah.
there. I was never going to live that life again. So it was my driving force. And when people want to talk to me all the time about what is your motivation or what was your motivation or how do I get motivation? And, it's not one size fits all. What motivates me is not going to motivate you or someone else necessarily. And my motivation also changes at different points in my life. And so sometimes, yes, it has been basically money that has motivated me, and that, basic survival instinct has, motivated me. But then other times, it'll be something different, because when you've got all the money, you need something else to motivate you, don't you?
Yeah.
And for some people, praise is enough. Some people just thrive on praise. That can motivate them. You're wonderful, you're amazing. And people think, oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, I'm all motivated.
I'm off. Yeah.
But then when the praise stops, what happens? Then, So I am able to self-motivate. But I do a lot of... And I think it's one of the biggest terrible things for people of this generation with the phones, and they're always on the phone, it is the fact, you know what? They don't give themselves time to think anymore. When are they actually thinking?
Yeah.
When do you spend time thinking about your future and what you're going to do and what you could be and what could your next plan be? When do they have time for this? Because as soon as there's get my phone, and they're just filling with mindless nonsense. And I like a bit of that now and then, like to watch a bit of TV, but I still, and did used to, spend a lot of time just thinking.
Yeah.
What could I do then? Could I go there? Could I sell this? Could I knock on his door? Could I contact that man and speak to him? Let's make a plan there. And I was never worried. What if it's, people will be like, oh, what if you make the wrong decision? I'm like, that's all right. I just got to make some decision. Any decision is better than no decision. Doing something is always going to be better than doing nothing. And if it does turn out that I did take the wrong path, and it all goes wrong, then I think to myself, okay, well, that didn't quite work out, did
So have
it?
you had have you had low points and that self-doubt?
Yes. Not so much self-doubt, no. More I choose the path, and then it might turn out to be not the, right path. But for some reason, there's never much self-doubt. Probably a few years after I'd won Dancing with the Stars, probably I had a few years more of my chance of getting back on TV, I thought, is practically non-existent now. So I gave up on that for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Because I just felt I'm hitting my head against a brick wall here. I won Dancing with the Stars, and nothing came of it.
Yeah.
And I'd always thought to myself, whatever you do in life, something will come of it. You know what I mean? If you did your best and you won, that will lead you somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to,
Yeah.
And so the following week, again, I was up to TVNZ. I mean, I love TVNZ now.
Sure.
But it was just back then. But I won. I'm going up. I'm saying to them, hey, look at that. I've had hit TV shows. I've won Dancing with the Stars. At the moment, I'm the most popular, successful woman in this country. I've got a #1 best-selling book. So what shall we do? What are you thinking? I've got some ideas. Let's put this together. And they literally said, all of that does not mean you're going to get your own TV show again. I'm like, I think it does. I think it does mean that, doesn't it? Again, I was completely gobsmacked. I think it does mean that. No, doesn't. So I let it go for a few years, and then I saw that. I thought everybody who's presenting shows, they're just giving them these shows because they're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, they're all comedians.
They're all stand-up comedians. So I became a stand-up comedian for a year. And entered the Comedy Quest in Auckland, got through to the finals, became a stand-up comedian, went back to, TVNZ, TV3. Hey, guess what? I'm a stand-up comedian now. Yeah, I get booked as a comic. I'm a stand-up comedian. No, I don't think so. So then I realised it was now actually an age thing, that I'd passed the age of, that. Somebody actually, I'm not to say who it was, but somebody at TVNZ did utter the phrase to me, well, you're not exactly a dolly bird now, are you?
Yeah.
Right, okay, that was sort of that for a few years.
Yeah.
So that hit hard. So then you've got to think, okay, you've got to keep reinventing yourself.
But you like a pep talk too, don't you?
Yes.
You sort of have said mantras and things.
I
and
do. I
get
pep talk myself.
But you pep talk
I
yourself.
pep talk myself, yeah.
So if you're feeling that little bit and you're not
Yes,
quite got that same motivation and
Yes.
you're wondering where to go
I say
next.
to myself, have a word with yourself, love.
Check up from the neck up.
Yeah, have a word with yourself. And because there's a couple of things I believe, and one is that you can't think one way and feel another.
Yeah.
Your brain's not capable of it, you know, so you can't be thinking happy thoughts and feel miserable. You're not capable of it, you know.
Oh, okay, I get you. Sorry, I was trying to work out what that meant.
If you're thinking, on the way into work, it's going to be a great day today. I'm stood in Henderson Square shopping mall. It's going to be epic. Going to meet some great people. Going to be fabulous. Going to sell so much stuff. Woo! Can't wait. I'm going to have a great day. I can't feel miserable while I'm saying all that to myself. That's what I've found. And also the other thing, is sometimes, and I think this is what young people need to know, is your mind will always believe whatever you tell it.
Yes.
It's programmed that way.
Elite sports people do that.
That's what it is. So I just can spend, again, I'm not on my phone. I'm saying to myself, oh, I can do this. I've got this. I'm funnier than him. I'm as good as her. I've got this. That's it. Oh, I'm brilliant, me. Oh, I've got it. I can do it. This is no problem. Yes, I can. I'm going to write a book. Where's it? I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And I talk myself up and up and up.
Yeah.
And you can't just do it once. It's like going to the gym. You can't think, well, I'll go to the gym once and be as fit as a fiddle and, really healthy. It's every day I will have a word with myself and talk myself up. I've got this. I can do this. This is going to be brilliant. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I'm marvellous. It's just that all the time.
No, the sports people say that your subconscious doesn't know the difference between the truth or the lie.
It doesn't. That's
so
right.
even if you're not exactly feeling like I am the most amazing and I'm going to have a super day and I'm going to, you keep telling your subconscious that.
Yes.
And those sports people say, it doesn't know the difference. I am going to cross that finish line first. I am a winner. I can be. I will be. Yeah. And it's the same sort of theory as what you're saying there.
Yes. Every day I do it. And to anyone around me, to the husband, it's all about that. But people don't realise the power of their own mind, which is a shame,
Yeah, I sort of say your attitude is your own and it's all up to you.
Yes, it's up to you. Nobody can tell you how to think. It's up to you.
So what's next for you then, do you think?
Well, of course, got the podcast. Yeah. So that's wonderful.
That's fun.
I'm writing my second book, so I've got to deal with HarperCollins.
Yep.
And that is a motivational, resilience book. And so I think that's really good. And then where to? Yes, I've never been in a movie, so I haven't given up on that yet, or a comedy series. And I did go up to various TV stations. That went on for about 10 years, I'd say, with comedy, thinking my own comedy series that I could be the star of it, somehow. Because I have done 2 comedy stage shows. I toured the country with 2 comedy stage shows. So I love that. Celebrity Treasure Island last year. So that was lovely. Pushed me out my comfort zone. Just because, I wanted to think, could I do it? It's going to be a horrible environment. I knew it would be, you know what I mean? But I thought, well, there's really the power of my mind there. If I can, still be
my attitude, for people that are listening and not watching, I'm screwing up my face, you see? Yeah. So that's not positive.
Yeah. So every day I was there saying to them, come on, yes, we can do this. We've got this team. Come on. We can do it. I know we haven't had a wash and I know we haven't had anything to eat. But so what? Okay, it doesn't matter. We can do it. So I was like this with the team every day and to myself, just because I wanted to see if I could survive.
Okay, so maybe a movie or something like that.
Yes.
You've got the book coming up. You've got it all going on.
So much, which I think is wonderful because next year, and I can't believe it to myself, but I will be 70 next year.
I can't believe it. I'm sitting here looking at you and I can't believe it.
Yes, and I see people that have given up on their dreams in their blooming 30s, they're like, yes, I tried once and it didn't work out. So that's me finished reading. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I've still got loads of plans written down here. I've still got my manifestation board, which I do every January, which I'll do it again this year, with pictures on and quotes on of everything that I'm going to do. And I think, well, I'm not finished yet, not by a long shot.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you. Okay, finally for this segment, I would like to know what is the best advice that you have been given and who was it from?
Yes, I was thinking about this and funnily enough, and she said it to me because of sales, but it turned out to be for everything else. So my boss, when I was 18, her name was Anna, and it was the first time I'd demonstrated products and gadgets. And I had a couple of weeks where I was going great, and then my figures went really down. So she called me to one side and she said, you know what it is with you? You've got to give it your best shot every single time. You've got to give it your best shot. Do your best every single time. And I was like, well, I'm following the script. I'm doing the same script every time there. Clean silver, silver plate, brass, copper, bronze, chrome, stainless steel, aluminium. I'm saying it. She said, yeah, but you're not giving it everything. Every single time, whatever you do, she was like, give it your best shot. You've got to give it passion. You've got to give it energy. And my thing now is what I sum all that up in, you've got to sparkle and shine.
Yeah.
Every single thing that you do, every single thing. And it's particularly true in sales. You can't just present a product, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy it. It's got to be. So I always do this. Deep breath. Sparkle and shine.
Yeah.
And I do that with everything I do in life, whether, whatever it is.
Whenever I was going in to give a big speech and I'd feel a bit of the nerves, mine was, have your breath and that sort of thing. And I would say, surprise and delight.
Yes.
Surprise and delight.
Yeah.
People may have a preconceived idea of you or, whoever we are, but actually you can surprise and delight.
Yes, can. And sparkle and shine.
Sparkle and shine, same thing. Okay, the podcast is called Ask Me Anything, and you're welcome to ask me something if you like. But equally, I feel like we should point them to your podcast, Fork's Sakes, because you ask me a lot of questions on there.
We did ask a lot of questions, didn't we? So I think people, and I think,
I love that.
And there's a lot of podcasts out there, isn't there? But there's still a lot of people that don't listen to podcasts as well. And so I keep saying to everybody, you've got to listen to podcasts. It's amazing.
Because you can still do everything. I love it.
Do stuff, can't you, while you're listening to
the whole
podcast.
Weekend just about listening.
It's lovely. And you can learn stuff. And we learned so much about you, which I think was inspiring. And I like the way you keep reinventing yourself, and that's what I keep trying to do, reinvent myself.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I did ask you a lot of questions, so I don't think there's anything
You're good.
else.
All right, go and do that then. Suzanne, thank you so much for coming on here.
Oh, thank you. It's gone quick, hasn't it?
It has, and sharing with my audience. It's been an absolute delight. So as I said, Suzanne's podcast, Fork's Sake.
Forks, yeah, for fork. It's like saying, for fork's sake.
Oh, for fork's sake.
Yes.
Okay, I've got it now. It's out now on all podcast platforms, and that's it for another episode of Ask Me Anything. So like Suzanne's, you can go and find Ask Me Anything on iHeartRadio or anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure you check out some of my past fabulous guests. I'll be back next week. I'm Paula Bennett. Ask Me Anything. Goodbye.